Hey, first grade. It's been a little bit since I've recorded these. I usually record them a week at a time. So even though you saw one on Friday, I actually haven't read anything about Henry Huggins since last weekend. So I'm going to record all of ours for this week tonight. I'm trying to be a little quieter because Mr. Arbini told me that last time I was way too loud and I kept my kids awake. It's 8:32 and they've been in bed for about an hour. So I'm hoping they are tired enough that they won't wake up, but I'm going to try to keep my voice down. So when we last left off, Henry had thrown Scooter's brand new football into the back of a man's car, and the man drove away. So we're going to read to find out what happens next. Maybe the man in the car will bring it back in a little while, he said hopefully. He'd better, said Scooter grimly. The boy sat down on the curb to wait. Boy, I bet he was going 80 miles an hour, said Henry. I couldn't even see his license plates. He ought to be arrested, said Henry, who was anxious to talk about anything but Scooter's football. He might kill somebody, said Scooter. The boys waited and waited. The longer they waited, the more angry Scooter looked. I don't think that car is going to come back, he said finally. It's all your fault. You threw the ball. Yes, I know, admitted Henry, but it wasn't my fault that Ribsy barked and that old car came by just then. You shouldn't have thrown it, Scooter scowled darkly. I couldn't help it, Henry scowled back. I didn't even see the car till after I threw the ball. I couldn't catch it after I had thrown it, could I? I don't care. You would have heard the car coming if that dumb dog of yours hadn't made so much noise. He wasn't even barking at anything. You lost my new ball, and you're going to have to buy me a new one. If you don't, Well, Scooter wasn't quite sure what he would do, so he didn't finish the sentence. Henry didn't know what to say. It did not seem right that he was to blame. Still, half an hour ago, Scooter had a new football, and now it was gone, and Henry had been the last one to touch it. Well, I have 46 cents and 3 milk bottles you could have, said Henry hopefully. He hated to see that football disappear almost as much as Scooter did. That isn't enough, said Scooter. You'll have to buy me a new football before next Saturday, or I'll tell my dad and he'll tell your dad, and then you'll really get it. Henry suspected Scooter was right. He probably would get it. Once he had accidentally broken another boy's roller skate, his father had given him a talking to and then made him spend his allowance to have it fixed. Okay, he said, I'll get you a new football. I don't know how, but I guess I'll manage. Henry turned and went slowly into the house, Ribsy following him. Now see what you've done, Henry said. And after I spent my football money for your license and your collar and your dish, too. Ribsy hung his head. Now Henry was just twice as far from owning a real cowhide football with nylon stitching and buckskin lacings as he had been half an hour ago. He was quiet the rest of the afternoon, and all through dinner he was thinking. How about another piece of gingerbread? His father asked. No, thank you, said Henry absent-mindedly. May I be excused, please? Why, Henry, don't you feel well? Mrs. Huggins was surprised. Henry usually ate 2 pieces of gingerbread and a third if she would let him. Oh, sure, I feel all right, said Henry, and he went out to sit on the front steps. Ribsy lay on the step below and dozed with his head on Henry's foot. Good old Ribsy, even if you did get me into trouble, said Henry. He listened to the wish-click of the water sprinkler next door and wondered how he was going to earn $13.95 in 1 week. He thought and thought and thought. So I know today was short, but this was a good place to stop. I want you to think about what Henry's going to try to do to earn money. You know that the things Henry plans, kind of like Ramona, they don't always work out the way you plan or the way he plans. Something always goes wrong. So I'm going to stop for today, but I want you to think about, before you listen to tomorrow's story, what do you think Henry's going to do to earn the money to buy football? And what do you think is going to go wrong? I don't know, but I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.